My palette, I mean, I learned from Malcolm Lipke quite important things in Yandamar. Um, but I'm not by nature a colorist. And it is nature. You know, you can learn to draw like a photograph, anyone can, that has decent eyesight. Um, but you can't learn advanced color unless you have the eye for it. It's inbuilt color, unlike drawing. Um, but I was beginning on this collection of paintings in 2017, and then I came across the Ansa de Madonna, Raphael's altarpiece in the National Gallery in London on a visit. I was living in Louisiana at the time, and I realized that what I needed was a palette that would talk to human vulnerability and human mortality. And Raphael and Giotto, their palette, it's called the Verdaccio palette. And so I needed that because the figures have this starved and penitent look that I love so much. I use that, though, as the foundation of my paintings, the Verdaccio palette. But the other thing I like about it is I wanted, just like in that little bit of writing, I love air and atmosphere and smell almost in a painting. I don't want a clean painting that you can just call art. A nice, slick, clean painting. I like it to stink of human life in a certain way. And the way I felt I should accomplish that is by narrowing the tonal range, shrink the tonal range, so that my darkest color in the Verdaccio palette is actually like a plain chocolate brown. Here it is. And and then I bring the lightest light down to a peppermint gray blue. And nothing exceeds that. Nothing goes past those. So I'm only using about half of the tonal range in my paintings. And what it does is create the sense of air. Quite simply because when you look into the distance in a landscape, every layer of hills becomes paler and bluer as it goes back, forever becoming the tonally mid sky color. The whole landscape eventually becomes the color of the sky, quite obviously, because there's more and more air between you and the furthest mountain. Eventually, like in the Rockies, when you approach them from a great distance, you can't tell that they're there in the beginning because they are the color of the sky. And as you approach, their tonal range gradually becomes more and more contrasty and they appear. So I wanted air. But what I do then is I use a lot of Damar glazes on them to layer the blood distribution in the skin and, you know, the veins, the ligaments, where the lemon of where the bones come up to the surface of the skin, giving them that sense of human vulnerability. And so that is the foundation of my palette. But as for any other color, I'm limited. I'm limited because it's not my nature. Yeah.